And we know to which the GOP nominee is referring there. Major Garrett joins us now from Washington. And Major, again, you look at your piece, it almost plays as something of a sampler platter from the weekend. Attacks on the media, attacks on the electoral process, attacks on Saturday Night Live, and a call for a pre-debate drug test. With regard to strategy, how would you quantify what we're seeing?
That's not as easy a question to answer as you might think, Josh. Strategy might be too strong a word. What you are seeing in Trump rhetoric, and it began about a week and a half ago, intensifying almost by the hour and by the day, is a sense that all around him and his supporters are villains, components of American society that are conspiring against him. First, Hillary Clinton's campaign, which he labels corrupt, lawless, and worthy of jail time. A complicit, conspiring media putting its thumb on the scale on behalf of Hillary Clinton. And that even includes, Josh, Saturday Night Live, blurring the differences between entertainment, artistic satire, and mainstream media. And now this allegation that, remember, elections are run by state and local officials, not the federal government. Those elections are, before they even occur, being rigged against Donald Trump, raising this idea that possibly whatever the outcome, unless it's a Trump victory, must by definition be illegitimate. All of these villains now, apparently, if you listen to Trump's rhetoric and take it seriously, are conspiring against him to deny him the presidency. It is not a dark or light vision. It's just a vision where this once strong person running for the presidency from a position of strength now feels himself victimized by all sorts of forces, none of which he fully comprehends or can adequately combat. I'm not sure that is a strategy, but it is the only thing you can sum up when taking Trump's rhetoric at face value.
And giving voice to that vision seems dangerous. The esteemed presidential historian Douglas Brinkley has said, in looking at Donald Trump's attacks on the electoral process, he has not seen something so vociferous from a major party nominee since 1860. Major, we heard Mike Pence there say in your piece, speaking to our colleague John Dickerson, that the campaign would absolutely accept the result of the election. But it does seem now, if nothing else, to be putting even Donald Trump's closest surrogates in a very difficult position at this point.
Well, you have to ask yourself, Josh, how many surrogates are there left? There are fewer and fewer now willing to jump into the breach on behalf of Donald Trump's rhetoric. Now, it's also worth reminding people other things that Donald Trump has said that openly and conspicuously conflict with what he is saying now. And I'm not talking about ancient history. Let's go back to the very first debate at Hofstra University. The last question, what does Donald Trump say? I will acknowledge Hillary Clinton if she's the winner, and I will support her as the next president of the United States. Those are not my words. Those are not Hillary Clinton's surrogate words. Those are Donald Trump's own words. That he is stepping away from him is something I think he has to explain to the American public if his latest rhetoric needs to be taken seriously. And I will tell you this, Josh, at the second presidential debate, there were plenty of signs for Donald Trump's surrogates. Not many sign holders, because many of those surrogates didn't show up, because they find it more and more difficult to advocate on behalf of this message. And that was before debate number 2. Be interested to see what the roster of Trump surrogates looks like in Vegas on Wednesday.
Yeah, come Wednesday night. What are you hearing with regard to the candidates' preparations?
Very much similar to preparation for debate number 2, being run essentially by New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, another big voice in the room, former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani. The debate team, much smaller than it was for round 1. That's because there were too many voices, too much conversation, not enough focus. Christie solved that for debate prep number 2. Trump spent most of the day yesterday at his Bedminster, New Jersey golf course going through this. There is some element of mock debate, but not a 90-minute session, a full-on sort of dress rehearsal. And in those, Governor Christie has the enviable or unenviable task of playing Hillary Clinton, we are told. And mostly those exchanges are about questions you're likely to get, best attack lines to have, and memorizing that which the campaign wants him to deliver in the course of the debate at some point. They're not trying to get Trump so heavily rehearsed that he has to feel obligated to do something right out of the box right at the beginning. Just at some point in the 90 minutes, get your message across. Because one thing those who prepared Trump for these debates have come to believe, whenever Trump says it, it'll be remembered.
Can't argue that, I do suppose. Major Garrett in Washington, we appreciate it.
Sure.